Great voice of Mr. Al Green here on 103.9 WSOS. Hope you're having a good day. So far, we're going to have a lot of fun because we've got somebody special here in the studio. Brian Bidwell, he's a big part of our family here at 103.9, and he and his lovely bride, the owners of Wild Birds Unlimited. Wild Birds Unlimited, conveniently located right there at Marabella, next to the Publix at Marabella off of State Road 16 and International Golf Parkway. Right next door to Dunkin' Donuts. Right, Brian?
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. Wonderful to be here in your brand new studios. It's very nice. Thank you for inviting me again.
The only thing missing from here are the birds.
Tweet, tweet.
Tweet, tweet, tweet,
There
tweet.
you go.
You would think we're back out here in the country. It's funny. People come here now. We have these new studios that are at the tower site, and the tower's been here for decades. But we're only, 1,000 yards off of State Road 16, and we're 3 miles east of I-95, but yet we are out in the country a little bit.
You know, it's a funny thing that you mentioned that. When I was pulling into the parking lot, I was looking out there and saying, I think I need to put a bird feeder out here for you guys. You know, because give you guys a little bit of getting into nature, a little bit more yourselves, that take the stress out of your lives.
So what we'll do is, and I will buy one from you, find us one that would work, and then we're going to put a sign on it because we know somebody that can do signs. Quick Signs of St. Augustine, a shameless shout out to my daughters who own a sign business. But, and we'll say these birds are brought to you by Wild Birds Unlimited.
Oh, man.
And that way when all of our customers come and go, and they'll see that.
Man, I'm all in for that.
We're going to do that? All right, we're going to do that. And so maybe we can even step it up a notch and put a bird cam out there.
Ooh.
You know, that would be pretty cool.
And feed it on our website. And maybe even feed them the music. So see if they like it. See which birds like to come hang out. See which ones are Van Morrison fans and which ones aren't.
You know, that's something we could actually live stream over to the store also.
Yeah.
Because we do have a big TV in there that we have different websites that we go to of people that have the bird cams out.
Oh, really?
And so we frequently go around trying to find the best ones we can. Cornell's got one that's got all of our stuff up there that we go to in a pinch. But I mean, some of these cameras out there are just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But everyone, I have in my yard shamelessly at this time of year, the peak time of year, I have 31 bird feeders out in the yard. I know
we're down 20 right now.
He's a nutcase right now, but people continually say, because I tell them all the different birds that I see in my yard all the time, and they say, gosh, you need to put a bird cam out there. I said, well, I would need actually multiple bird cams, to do it with. But there's a lot that's involved with that. As the owner of the Wild Birds Unlimited, I would have to make sure everything is ship shape and always full of seed. And of course, you would probably see me out there first thing in the morning as I'm doing the Farmer Brian thing and feeding the birds and getting out and connecting with nature.
So with, what do we say we're up to? How many bird feeders?
31
All right,
now.
so with 31 bird feeders in your yard, it's a daily refeed operation?
Not really.
Okay.
There's certain
a week?
Actually, let me back up on that. Yes, I do go out there and do certain feeders that I daily refeed. When I have live mealworms that I do back in the front yard and the backyard, which are very special it's a special treat for all the birds because it's a natural type of thing for them, especially during nesting season. So when I'm bringing out the live mealworms in the morning, the birds are literally flying right by my head and landing right in front of me and looking at me and just can't wait for those mealworms to get in there.
Right.
All around there, I've got all sorts of different foods and everything that they can eat, while they're waiting on me.
Right.
Every now and then I'll look at the window and I'll see them, just standing out there like, you going to come outside or what?
Pointing at their watches.
Yes, yeah, that's right. You're a little late, Brian. Come on out here.
Yeah, talking amongst themselves. This guy is less than reliable.
Sleeping in a little bit this morning, huh, Brian?
Yeah, where's our free food? Slacker. That's funny. But it highlights, though, because you have all these different feeders. One key point we want to make to our listeners, which is different feeders in order to attract different types of birds.
Absolutely. I at different times of the year, I'll have different seeds that are more popular than others. That it enables me to let people know, hey, this is what's working in my yard. And if it's working in my yard, 9 times out of 10, it's going to work in your yard too. But another thing that happens, the great thing about owning the store and having these great customers, which our customers are fantastic. People that love the birds are just really, really good people. But they'll come in and they'll tell us what they're seeing, what they're feeding, how, that it's all happening in their yard. And we'll pass that on because in different zones and different areas around the North Florida area, you'll have different pockets of bird activity in there.
And so we know different types of food for different types of birds in terms of who you're trying to attract. And then also, I guess there's an issue with different type of feed for the season as we head into the hot summer days.
Yeah, so one of the things is we get this a lot, especially people say, well, I stopped feeding during the summer because there's a lot of natural foods out there, and there are a lot of natural foods. But I tell people that, like, for instance, right now, you may see a cardinal out there that looks really funny, like their face is maybe diseased or something, but it's not diseased. They're just going into a molt where they're losing their feathers and growing in new feathers. When that's happening, they need high protein, high fat foods so that they can grow the strongest feathers and just give them the best opportunity to have the best life out there. So high fat foods like suets are just off the charts. We offer the best, highest protein, high fat foods out there in the market.
No fillers.
No fillers. We've done our research. We know what the birds like. We know what is healthy for the birds, and we know what they'll keep coming to at your feeders. And maybe not so much the guy next door that's buying something somewhere else.
Oh yeah, if your neighbor's getting like Walmart bird food. First off, the cardinals that eat that, their feathers are they're bald.
Yeah,
They're bald cardinals now.
Yeah,
Uh,
of course.
no, it's always you get what you pay for, right? And obviously,
That's right.
if you bring high quality food, you're going to have a better opportunity in attracting the birds that you want. What a fun hobby, too. I mean, I know you choose to be up early in the morning and feeding the birds, but it's not mandatory, right? You can feed the birds at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, as a matter of fact, my wife basically sits on our back porch, back sunroom, and she has her computer back there, and she does all the purchasing for all the stores and does a lot of the admin stuff that we need to have done. And while she's doing that, she's viewing all of the backyard bird feeders and activities. So she actually is going out there and doing things like, what do you mean we're out of live mealworms? Oh, so you're giving them mid-afternoon snacks out here or whatever. Yeah. So she'll do that. And of course, one of the things we do is we also do the dried mealworms. So live mealworms can be a little bit of a pricey situation. So that's more of a really special treat most of the time. But dried mealworms you can have out there all day long, and easy. It's just like filling up a bird feeder. We sell these cool little blue dried mealworm feeders that are fantastic. I put one out for the first time a couple weeks ago, and just because I'm supposed to try everything out, and for whatever reason I hadn't tried this out, put it out there, and just immediately, because it was blue, it attracted the bluebirds over to it. They saw the blue and say, "What's this over here?" Or buy these other feeders.
That's our
over
favorite
here.
color.
So, oh my gosh, there's mealworms in here. That's really cool.
That is funny, huh? Hey, if you have any questions, obviously, about birds, if you're just trying to attract birds because they're beautiful to look at, obviously they can be mesmerizing and relaxing. You think you might want to take it on as a little bit of a hobby. The hobby, I would imagine, is one of these things where you can dial it up as intensely as you would like, right?
Absolutely. A lot of times people will come in and say, I just want to get started feeding the birds, and we can set you up with a great little like a cylinder feeder that doesn't cost a lot of money. You can put it out in a tree and see what kind of action you get. But I'll warn you. I did that to my little sister years ago. Sent her one, and basically she put it in a tree. Immediately had a cardinal. Texted me a picture of it. She goes, "Okay, what else do I need?"
Now she's hooked.
She is.
That is hilarious.
Not quite up to my standards, but
Right. Well, if you have any questions at all, a couple of things you can do. Number one, you need to just go by the store. The store is located right next door to Dunkin' Donuts on State Road 16 in the World Golf Village area, right in the Marabella area near the Marabella Publix at the intersection of State Road 16 and International Golf Parkway. You can, of course, you can always call 209-5754. The store, though, that's open next door to Dunkin' Donuts is open from when until when, Brian?
Every day we're open from 10 to 6.
10 until 6.
Except for Sundays, and then we open up at noon and shut down at 4. I also want to tell you on Memorial Day, we're going to be closing at 3.
Okay.
So let everyone go home and go to their picnics at 3 o'clock.
Stop by, though. Wild Birds Unlimited. Wild Birds Unlimited. Obviously, Brian and his wife, they're the owners of the store, so locally owned. It's a great place to visit. Encourage you to stop by. Wild Birds Unlimited. You can check them out online, too, at wbu.com/St. Augustine, and we'll be back. That was a hit song back in the mid-'70s. Silverbird. We're talking about the other kind of bird, an airplane.
No.
But did still sing about a bird. And, of course, we have the guy who knows all about birds, and that's Brian. Brian Bidwell is here with us from Wild Birds Unlimited. Wild Birds Unlimited, the store that he and his wife own, located right here in our part of the world in St. Johns County, in the Marabella area at State Road 16 near Golf Parkway, right next door to the Dunkin' Donuts. And they can help you with anything related to feeding birds and having birds come to you where you live, seeing some different species. You live here in Paradise in Florida, where we have so many options, so many different species and varieties of birds, right, Brian?
Absolutely. It's one of the coolest places to live in the world. Actually, it's one of the warmest places in the world to live.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice place for that reason.
It really is.
I wanted to get your opinion, too, about, we have a lot of our listeners who may live in a one-bedroom condo, if you will, or an apartment. Maybe they have some sort of a golf patio home. And we're talking in the past about, having feeders set up all in your yard and all that. What if somebody doesn't have a ton of outdoor space?
Well, we can accommodate almost any kind of situation. We've done fantastic with taking people that even are on a second floor or fifth floor of apartment, where I've got a guy downtown Jacksonville on the water that is on the 16th floor of an apartment complex that has birds coming up to his balcony up there because he's put plants and everything up there to attract them, and he's got feeders out there. And all it took was one bird finding that feeder one time and lights out. And, of course, the birds probably nest right up on top of the building. But, yeah, it can be done. So many of our listeners out there have the patio that already has plants and stuff on it. It's already kind of made their little outdoor mecca that had habitat that can actually bring the birds in. You don't have to put a bird feeder on a big stand in the middle of your yard. You can actually put it on your window. We actually have great action of people that have simply put a bird feeder on their window or a hummingbird feeder. Hummingbird feeders come on the windows too. That was my mom's favorite feeder for years. That she could just, Dad took out the screen in one of her windows. She slid open the window and could easily take it in and out from the window and replace the nectar.
So some great options there, obviously, for those of you that don't have a ton of outdoor space, but you still want to enjoy all the amazing birds and species that we have here in Northeast Florida.
Yes, I know somebody that did that hummingbird thing, actually, and they got to know the birds. The birds came certain times every day, the hummingbirds, and they actually could identify the different ones. It felt like they had a family of birds coming back every day. They were Johnny on the clock with the timing too.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the cool things that you can do is you can, if you're consistent about the times that you get out there, they'll come and they will be ready for you. And it's a cool little thing to take a video of and kind of share with your friends and share on your Facebook page and such.
That is cool.
But another thing about balconies and stuff like that, I've had people. We have these actually arms that you can actually attach to most railings, and several different types that we can actually put a real bird feeder out there. One of our associates, Donna, had her daughter center one, and put multiple feeders coming out off this rail system that had a hummingbird feeder on one side. Actually had a Baltimore Oriole feeder that the hummingbirds eat out of, also because orioles eat nectar also, and then had 2 other regular seed feeders. And there, in the action, she gets out of it all day long. She's on a 2nd story. But even the garden homes that have just like townhomes that have just a little patio out there, those are perfect. We can actually put a patio base right on that patio and put a regular bird feeder there, put a seed in there, has like no mess with no shells, so they're not going to make a mess underneath it. Another great thing they can put out there is a bird bath. Bird baths, birds got to keep their feathers clean, and they got to preen, and they especially when it gets hot like this, they love that.
Water's key, right?
Water is very key.
I mean, obviously, you're going to get great bird feed that's going to attract these wonderful birds, high quality, that's going to work for you. But you need to make sure there's water there too. Something as simple as that.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions about all this, you're trying to attract certain types of birds, or you just want to get started on this and enjoy this as a hobby, no matter how much you want to dial it up, Wild Birds Unlimited, the place to start. And obviously, with Brian, the whole team there, they're going to help you out, help you get started. Great place to go to for gifts, right?
Absolutely. Father's Day is around the corner. And let me tell you, I was in the store recently. I was amazed at the selection of gifts, creative, unusual, personal, thoughtful gifts. Why don't you tell us about some?
Well, one of the things you said that you saw in there was our chirpy top, which goes on the top of a wine bottle, and it chirps as you're pouring.
Now, that's a fun party
absolutely
idea,
fun,
right?
fun gift. Absolutely, yes. And we they fly off the shelf there. Father's Day,
no pun intended.
No pun. Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh, but Father's Day we have things like binoculars are always we've got them in all sorts of different levels from very inexpensive binoculars to pretty expensive binoculars. We carry the Vortex brand, and which has an unconditional lifetime guarantee. I tell people if you buy these binoculars and you run over them with your car and you take all the pieces that are left over and you send them to Vortex, they will send you a new pair of binoculars at no charge. And like I said, and also one of the things is we encourage people to buy local. And of course, all these things are, the binoculars and stuff you can see online. But I actually go in and make sure that my prices on there in here match what's online.
Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. And then what about books? You mentioned, so maybe you want to inspire the father in your family for a new hobby.
We have a book that was written by Jim Carpenter, who is the founder and CEO of Wild Birds Unlimited, called The Joy of Bird Feeding. And basically, this tells you everything you need to know about bird feeding, whether it is just a small little patio base in the backyard or the 31 feeders that I have in my yard. Just shows you different things that you can do. If I'm not there to tell you all the time, you could actually have a great reference manual in that. And I found over the years that it's been a great gift for dads. That dads they'll give the Joy of Bird Feeding book to their dads and maybe one of our hobby guides. And dads, I've always thought about maybe coming in there and feeding the birds. Giving the gift of bird feeding is a great thing. And so many dads have come back in later on and started the hobby, and really, the joy in their faces.
Exactly.
Incredible.
Who needs another tie?
That's right.
Exactly.
Well, it is Father's Day, and it'll be great to go by Wild Birds Unlimited, get the items that you need to get your dad or your granddad started in this amazing hobby. This is probably one of the best places in the country to engage in attracting birds and feeding birds and keeping up with them and having them be a part of your outdoor space. We'll be back with Brian. Stay tuned.
They get up to the $200 level, which they'd actually automatically get their $10 bird buck, which was a pretty busy weekend for us. Lots of people taking advantage of that. So it does cost $25 a year to join, but you also get a free gift when you're doing it, and that free gift and what you're saving on the seed basically pays for the membership right off hand.
Yeah.
So
and it's so much more fun than a Costco membership.
Oh gosh,
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of fun. And of course, once again, just a reminder, Father's Day right around the corner. What a great gift for dad. A lot of you out there complaining that dads and granddads are almost impossible to shop for. Well, this would be a great thing to do. I mean, I don't know very many guys that wouldn't have fun with this, to get started with this as a little bit of a side hobby or a main hobby.
Give dad the gift of bird feeding. It is just a great, cool thing to do.
Yeah, and if he's one of these guys that gets stressed out easily, he's going to be now nice and mellow, and you're going to wonder what the heck happened. And it's because of the birds, right?
Dad's chilling out, man. He's got this.
Yeah, Brian used to be so uptight, and now look at him. He's just as cool as a cucumber. Oh, man. Wild Birds Unlimited, open at World Golf Village, right there at 16 next to the Dunkin' until when tonight?
Till 6 o'clock tonight.
And then you open again tomorrow?
At 10 o'clock.
And then on Memorial Day, you're going to be open but closing a little early.
We're going to close at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and go to the picnic.
All right, there you go. Brian, thank you very much. Brian Bidwell, Wild Birds Unlimited.
Thank you.
Every day near 12 noon, WSOS airs our national anthem in honor of our service members, veterans, and their families. I'm Eric Leonetti with Mr. Rooter Plumbing, and we are proud to be the exclusive sponsor of this effort.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proud